It looks like Nicholas Kuhn will not be the only player to leave Celtic Football Club over the next 24 to 48 hours, as it appears Gustav Lagerbielka is finally going to end his Celtic nightmare. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for another edition of the Spfl Transfer Roundup Show. It is the 8th of July, and things have really begun to pick up in July, especially for the big two clubs in Scotland. When you look at June, not a lot was happening, but you get into July, Celtic have brought in Benjamin Nygren. Rangers now have started signing players. They were going at a rate there where they were signing like a player a day. Sometimes they were signing 2 players a day. So they're making moves, but it is expected that we will also see quite a few players still leave Glasgow, with Celtic and Rangers expecting to sell multiple players before the end of the transfer window. So I would expect July and August to still be very, very busy when it comes to transfer news and official transfers. But before we talk about Celtic and Gustav Lagerbielka, let's talk about someone that could have been a Celtic player, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, because MATHIAS Kvistgaarden appears to have chosen Norwich City over Celtic. Now, we know Celtic were interested in him. He was apparently interested in going to Celtic as well, but now that deal looks like it's not going to happen. Norwich are closing in on the signing of the Brøndby forward, and I think what's really interesting about this is that the deal is believed to be around £6.9 million, a figure that seems very, very low, because when we reported on this last month, Brøndby apparently wanted £14 million, and if paid by Celtic, that would have made MATHIAS Kvistgaarden the highest paid player in the club's history, with obviously the current highest paid player being none other than Arne Engels, who they bought last season. So for that reason, it seemed like Celtic lost a bit of interest. They didn't want to pay that amount of money, but it's going to be very interesting if he does leave for 6.9 million, because if he can go to Norwich, and if Norwich can pay 6.9 million, then why could Celtic not have paid the same amount for a player that they apparently really wanted to bring to the club? Now, Kvistgaarden scored 23 goals in 38 appearances in all competitions for Brøndby last season, which is obviously a really good record, so he can be proud of that. And he also earned his first cap for Denmark when they played Northern Ireland in June. So yeah, the guy has obviously had a good season, and he's capped it off, pun intended, with winning his first cap for Denmark. So I think this would have been a really good signing for Celtic, but they weren't able to make it. And at the time, it was supposedly down to the financial aspect, but we're seeing that 6.9 million is what Norwich are set to pay, and Celtic could have afforded that. Now, Norwich might be putting on add-ons, additional fees, maybe sell-on clauses, but still, I'm sure that's something Celtic could have done. 6.9 million seems definitely more than capable of Celtic paying. So that was in the Celtic ballpark, financial ballpark, and for whatever reason, they've allowed this guy to slip through their fingers. Maybe they weren't that interested. Maybe they've got their eyes on someone else. We'll just have to wait and see. But let's talk about a player that will not be at Celtic. Well, that looks to be centre-back Gustav Lagerbielka, because he has completed a medical ahead of his £2 million move to Braga. It's understood that he's travelled to Austria with Braga today for their pre-season training camp. The move is still to be finalised, but it is expected to be completed this week, according to Anthony Joseph, who is, another guy on Twitter, another guy on X that seems to know his stuff, not quite as reliable as Fabrizio Romano, but normally when this guy says something, it's also true. So looks like Lagerbielka will leave Celtic. The guy's just never really, I'm not going to say he never had a chance, but he's never really had a run of games where he could show what he was made of at Celtic. And yeah, I mean, I just don't think he was good enough. And I mean, that tells you a lot about Lagerbielka, because it's not like the current Celtic centre-back options are great. You look at Naroki, who has struggled big time. Then you look at Scales and Trusty. It's like, if you cannot get into this Celtic team, or if you can't, create an opportunity for yourself in the centre-back position when they're dying for a player to step up and create a partnership with Carter Vickers. If you can't do it now, then what chance would you actually have of getting in the team when Celtic do find, a good enough centre-back to partner with Carter Vickers? So yeah, Gustav Lagerbielka looks like he is going to complete his £2 million move to Braga. Now, a guy that won't be moving to Scotland but was reportedly coming to Glasgow, David Angelotti. He was supposed to be the new Rangers head coach for a long time. He was the favourite. A lot of Rangers fans wanted him. In the end, they got Russell Martin. I think Russell Martin will be the better option. But Angelotti has got a new head coach role, his first head coach role at Brazilian club Botafogo. So he has followed his father to Brazil, but rather than just be his assistant at Brazil, he's taken up the role as the new head coach at Botafogo, and I wouldn't be surprised if this also allows him to play a role in the Brazil setup. I think that will be the thinking at mind here. I think he will probably, obviously, be the head coach of Botafogo, but I expect him to also be in the coaching setup with the Brazil national team, and that now can easily happen with him managing a Brazilian football club. So there is that. Hearts, some Hearts news. Hearts are set to pay, reportedly, a transfer fee of £120,000 to sign Albanian winger Sabah Kirjota from Italian Serie C club US San Benedetti's, according to the Edinburgh Evening News. Now, that's a fucking hell of a club to pronounce. US San Benedetti's. Never heard of them. They're in the Serie C, the third division of Italian football. 120,000 is the fee that Hearts are set to pay for this guy. Is he any good? Time will tell. Speaking of a player that I think is good but will not be playing at Hearts this season is Lewis Neilson. He's completed his move to Falkirk, so he's traded in one Premiership club for another. He's completed a loan move to Falkirk. I think that will be a good addition for the Bairns, and I expect Neilson to get quite a lot of game time, and maybe he could play a pivotal role in helping keep Falkirk up. I think he should get a chance at Hearts, but I guess Derek McInnes thinks that there's maybe multiple choices in front of him, and that the best thing for Lewis Neilson's career is to get loaned out. But I think we're in danger of Lewis Neilson just becoming one of these players that gets loaned out every single season, never really gets a chance at Hearts, and then in the end just gets moved on. I would like to see him stay at the club now, and let's see what he can do. Now, he has been at Falkirk on loan before he came to Hearts, but I would like to see the guy staying out. First he got loaned out to Partick Thistle, then he got loaned out to St Johnstone. This is going to be his third long season loan in a row. I think it's a good time now to see what he's got. Let's see if Lewis Neilson can be a Hearts player. If he can't be, then probably just move him on, try and sell him. But yeah, there's going to be 3 seasons in a row now where he's went out, and it's not like he's 18, 17. He is getting older now. He's 22. At what time is he going to get a chance to make it at Hearts? So yeah, we'll see now. But he's played for quite a lot of clubs in Scotland. 5 clubs in total: Dundee United, Falkirk, Hearts, Partick Thistle, and St Johnstone. So yeah, we'll see what he can do in a Falkirk shirt, and I do expect him to play an important role for them. Some other transfers: we have Adil Auchi has moved from Sunderland to Aberdeen on loan. Never heard of the guy. Don't know if he's any good or not. I guess time will tell. He's made a move to Aberdeen. Aberdeen obviously looking to invest in their squad. They've got the Europa League, possibly Europa Conference League football coming up this season. They're guaranteed one of them. That is for sure. This guy, Auchi, started at Paris Saint-Germain, so he's obviously, I was going to say start. He did start there, but I mean, who knows? He was just a fringe player. He played 1 game. He then went to Saint-Etienne and then Lorient, so before moving to Sunderland. Then he went to Portsmouth on loan, and now he's at Aberdeen on loan. So yeah, don't really make much of him. And the last signing that we're going to talk about is Liam Soule, who has completed a move from Livingston to Inverness Caledonian Thistle. And we all know that Inverness Caledonian Thistle, they were in a bad way last season. For a period of time, it looked like they were going to be done, you know, possibly out the game. So it's nice to see them still in the Scottish football pyramid, and now we're seeing them bringing in players. So yeah, hopefully Inverness Caledonian Thistle can get back to a decent level, and who knows, maybe earn promotion this season and get back into the Championship, because they're a decent sized club, and you don't want to see any club, in my opinion, go down the drain in Scottish football and go out of business. So it's good to see Inverness Caledonian Thistle still kicking about in the Scottish pyramid and just football in general. Anyway guys, that is it. That's your transfer football roundup. We'll catch you later on today for more news, but until then, been Flog Football. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace.